Hello everyone, Lolly's here. I'm back to share a project for Auntie Vera's Scrap and Craft design team. The theme this month is Trick or Treat, and I will give you the link below to the kit opening so you can see what goodies are in there, because the kits are available for purchase while supplies last. So the first thing I thought I wanted to do was play around with these dominoes, and it's not a complete set. I just had a certain amount of them and I wanted to make them into actually a banner. I did use some black spray and to coat a couple of them black. I wasn't sure how many of them I wanted black, so I will show you each of them as I go along. This is the first one here. It's a spider, and these little hairy leg things came in the kit. I just thought it was so cute, and I see that I got some little white paint dabs on there from the project I was working on. Oh, and some on my hand too. So anyway, I just glued some of the spider legs to the back, covered the back with some black cardstock. And then to hang these, I thought a long time about how I wanted to hang these on the jute, which I want to use the jute that was in the kit. And I thought about a bead, a square bead that I could glue on top here and it would have a hole in it. And so when I went to the craft store, I saw these letters and I thought I might as well use those. So I spelled out the word frightful. So there's my spider, little googly eyes. And then this is from the kit, October 31st. And then I also, for this project, I designed several domino-shaped Halloween images. Here's some paper ones that I'm not using for this particular project. I did use the pumpkin, and I have glittered his eyes and mouth. I also designed the ghost. And then this is from the kit, Boo Crew. There were some die cuts in there. This was actually part of the paper. And I just cut the witch out of a bunch of witches on the paper, and I glittered her hat and dress band. Another one of the ones that I designed. I realized I wasn't focused there. And I designed Frankenstein's Monster. And then this was in the kit is one of the die cuts. Now you notice the tail sticks out over the domino. So what do you do with that? When I glued it on there, I glued the back side of the tail to make it strong, and then glued it on, and then I did a clear coat on top, including the tail, so it wouldn't get broken off easily. And so what I'm using is Judykin's Diamond Glaze. I'll give you a link to this down below. And so I have done that with all of these except for this. I would put a thin layer of Diamond Glaze on, adhere the image, let it dry, a couple hours, and then I would put a clear coat on top. And with these ones, I put the glitter first and let that dry, and then I put the Diamond Glaze on top of that. Next thing I did was I painted some wooden beads to go in between all of these, and I decided to go ahead and start stringing this. I'm going to start, let's see, thinking this way, and I want to leave a good portion of this sticking out because of where it's going to go. I need plenty of room to be able to hang that up. I'm going to knot this, but I'm not sure that that knot will actually be big enough to stop the bead from moving around. We'll see. I'm going to make the knot rather loose, see if that helps. Now the next thing is I want a knot fairly close to here. Well, how do you do a knot really close there and really gauge it? So what I'm going to do, see if I can zoom in here. This is how I do it when I'm doing pearls, when I'm stringing pearls. I'm sorry, I'm trying to zoom in here. There. Now this is going to be a little difficult because when I string pearls, I'm using more like silk thread or something like that. It's very smooth. This is tough. And so, well, bear with me here. So I'm just laying it across my hand and coming around, and I'm going to make a knot by pulling that through the loop. Okay, I have a lot to play with here. Okay, I'm going to take my tweezers and go through that loop and grab pretty close to where I want the knot to go, making sure I'm on video here, and then just pull this down to the very end of the where I had the tweezers, and then you can use the tweezers to pull it tightly. Now I do see that this is pretty loose because with this jute, it's thick in some places and thin in others. So I'm going to go again, let's see, and go through here and give it a second knot here and see if that helps. I could also put a bead right there on the after the knot, and that would stop it from also from going through my F here, my F bead. Okay, so now I have that, and the next thing I want to do is to add one of these little spacer beads I did. Okay, and now to be fairly consistent, I think I want to measure. I'm going to use the, let me pull back out here. I want to use the grid on my cutting mat here to decide about where I'm going to put my next one of these. I'm thinking maybe 1.5 inches would be good, which means I need my bead right about there. I mean my knot, excuse me. It's hard to do this with this whole thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do this without the tweezers this time, see if I get that down where I want it approximately. And then this goes back through the next bead, which is the R. Yep. Okay. If you have a shorter, obviously a shorter strand of jute, it's a lot easier. Okay. Let's see if the, see, it's going through. I was hoping that these knots wouldn't go through, but because they're going to hold my place. But I think once it's hanging, it's not going to go through because the bead is pushing down from the top here, and that little knot there gives it just the right amount of bump that it's not going to roll over that. Okay, let's do another knot here. Where's the end of this? All the way through. Grab that, excuse me, gotta grab that and then pull that down onto it. And that puts it about where we want it. And I'm not really trying to get those knots too tight. Like I said, the bigger the knot, the better it's going to work out for me. Okay, and then we're going to put another bead on. So I'm going to do a bead, then a tile, a bead, then a tile. And I've painted these beads black, orange, and green. Okay, now, so I'm going to speed up the video at this point. Okay. Now again, when I hang this, it will hang well because the knots will stop these from sliding through. Now, I realize I can't get you a good view there. It's a nice long one, and here, let me see if I can get it this way. So you'll see there's the F-R-I-G-H-T, F, U, and L. And of course, there you go. And I'm going to leave a nice long tail on the end here. There we go. And then I can hang that up in my craft area. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you look at all the links down below. Let me scrunch this all up in one place so you could see it. It was a real wonderful project to work on. I just had a blast. I'm trying to get the glare off of that. And don't you love this? Kept wanting to get in the way. And that is my admission bracelet to the expo last week. Okay, there you go. And thank you again so much for watching.